I'm Caleb. Sitting across from me today, we've got Jimmy. He's been in construction longer than some of us have been driving. So, welcome here today, Jimmy.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
So, before we get into too much of this, tell the people kind of about yourself and who you are, Jimmy.
Okay, well, I am Jimmy. I am from Southern Nevada, grew up there, and worked on a lot of the high-rise casinos and schools and prisons and everything else due to construction on the EFIS side. So, over 20 years, started in the construction field probably when I was 12, working with my uncle. Got me to work for him and his crew, cleaning up, doing labor stuff, picking up wood, and fell in love with the trade.
Nice.
And so got into the trade right out of high school, graduated in 1986, went right into the construction field right then, did my 4-year apprenticeship, and it was great.
Man. So, working in Nevada, that's a whole different beast of working in Oklahoma. What's that like?
Yeah, working in Nevada, I mean, when I was in the trade, it was definitely gangbusters. Everything was going really good. There's some slow moments, but for the most part, it was good. Extremely hot, but I got to tip my hat off to a lot of the trade guys there. They really taught me a lot, and I was able to do a lot of great projects, and worked with a lot of great people, a lot of salt of the earth people in Nevada.
What would you say was the biggest takeaway that you got taught when you were out? Something you brought with you, you probably hold on to every day.
I just realized that there's just a lot of different people who have different gifts, and I realized that mine was in the construction field. I just realized that that's what I got from it. I'm a hands-on type of a person. Other people who have different abilities, maybe through school or different educations and stuff in that nature, but for me personally, it was the trade. Fell in love with it.
Yeah, just learning that that's where you thrive.
That's where I thrived. That's where I learned. That's where I grew. I was able to, raise a family through it. At that time, things were a little bit more inexpensive, but my wife was able to stay home with the kids, able to homeschool them, and then put them through school itself and public education as well. So she was able to stay home. So it worked out very good for me. So very thankful.
Honestly, it's more of a passion than a career for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So, in that case, then what brought you all the way out to Oklahoma from Nevada?
Well, my Christian faith, I ended up going to Bible college and got into the ministry and served in the ministry for 7 years. And then my children started growing up and going different places, and one moved back here to Oklahoma. And I was in another state and came back over here to where he was at. And so my wife wanted to be with him and all the kids being together. So that's what just brought us back. And I love the state of Oklahoma. It's a great state.
Wonderful. Love that. Good old family keeping you together.
Yes.
So in regards to Oklahoma then, so you've been here a while, been in the construction industry. What have you seen changing in the roofing industry while you've been here?
What I have seen in the roofing industry is insurance. Insurance has changed dramatically, and I'm seeing and talking to homeowners about their insurance and seeing what has happened with different policies and stuff in that nature. So homeowners are actually running into some real big mountains in front of them when they have an actual cash value policy. When it hits that 10-year mark, the roof, it basically, they only give you what that roof's worth at the cash value. So I like to explain it like this, is that, I ride Harleys, and so if I bought a bike that was 10 years ago for $25,000 and I wanted to sell it today, well, I'm not going to get the $25,000. I'm going to get the actual cash value of that bike today. And homeowners don't realize that. So basically, there's a huge gap of depreciation between the actual what the roof will cost to what the insurance is going to pay that homeowner. And so the homeowners are just hoodwinked, and they just don't realize, hey, now I'm going to get maybe a $10,000 check, but this might cost me $28,000 for a roof. I got to come up with that in my deductible. And so it hurts them big time. And I run into a lot of people who are elderly and on fixed incomes, and they're kind of in a real bad situation, and that's what I've seen. So insurances have changed, I believe in 25 and 26 in that nature. I think they have all changed when that 10-year mark hits. Basically, it goes to the actual cash value. Some insurance companies will have a policy with replace cost value, but if you're not in that zone, you're stuck.
Yeah. So like that's honestly the whole reason we kind of started this podcast was running into these issues with the homeowners, the for lack of a better term on education here in the community in the area where people don't realize, I think they just need repair. You follow your roofer out, they say, yeah, he'll hit your roof, you got to get it replaced.
Yeah.
And that's the industry. That's what people do.
Right. And sometimes that could be, a bad situation because that roof might not get bought, because it might not have that hail damage that the insurance companies are looking for, And you already filed your claim. Yeah. Yeah. Now you got this little check mark against you that you have filed a claim, and so we want to help homeowners out, educate them. Some of them just are not educated on what Shingle RX can do for them. Basically, what it can do is it can protect that roof from aging. Basically, it could stop the granular loss immediately. And so you have a roof that is the 10-year roof, and you don't want to file a claim, or you might have filed a claim and it got denied. Yeah. Now what do you do? Well, you need something that can help you protect that roof from other damage, because you don't want to pay that or just get paid for the actual cash value. You're going to be, out a lot of money. We can spray Shingle RX, protect that roof, lock it in for an 8-year warranty, and protect it, and stop the aging process, immediately, and then it just gives you some breathing room. Yeah. Gives you 8 years to figure out what you want to do, if you want to.
With a protected roof.
With a protected roof, exactly. Yeah. Makes it hail impact, stops the granular loss, no water intrusion. I mean, it's just a game changer.
So your assessment on the product is kind of a no-brainer situation, right? Like,
I bought a Class 4 roof for my house. Even though a Class 4 roof is a Class 4 roof, meaning that it can handle up to hail to 2 inches, maybe a little bit larger. But you know what? Over time, you're still going to lose granules. I don't care what roof it is. You're going to lose granules.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to lose granules from day one.
Yeah.
Each year you're going to lose granules on a Class 4. That's the most expensive roof you can get. I was like, I know this.
Yep.
So that's why I had Shingle RX sprayed on my roof, because I wanted to stop the aging process.
Nice.
Right off the bat. So basically, if I have this roof and and I had RX for 8 years, it's going to maybe look 2 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it holds 96% of the granules. That's a lot. So why not use it on a brand new roof or an old roof?
Make sure those Class 4 shingles stay as Class 4 shingles for the whole time they're there.
Exactly.
No need to lose the class levels because granules are falling off, basically.
Exactly, yeah. And it's going to happen. Man. Storms come in, heat, cold, the flexing, just everything.
Yeah.
And you're just going to lose them.
Man.
So hopefully this will educate homeowners.
So let's shift gears for a second here, because we've actually recently had something kind of in this timeline that we're talking about with a customer where we thought we were going to be able to get the roof replaced for them under an RCV policy, and upon further inspection and everything else, it kind of went sideways.
Yes.
And they ended up having to pay more. So what really went down there? Can we talk about that in more detail so we can educate homeowners on that situation?
Absolutely. I think the education of understanding your policy is the most greatest thing to understand what RCV is and what ACV is. RCV is replaced cost value. That means that you're just going to pay your deductible and the roof will get bought from the insurance, and you're just going to be responsible for the deductible only. Mm-hmm. Now, an actual cash value policy, you're going to get an actual cash value amount of that roof. You're going to pay your deductible, but now you've got this whole huge side of a depreciation. That could be from $8,000 to $10,000 extra that's going to come out of your pocket. Mm-hmm. So homeowners don't understand that. So what you're talking about with the previous job that we were working with is that the homeowner, when he bought the home, nobody left him proof of how old that roof was when he bought it. Yeah, that's not good. Yeah. So there was no proof. So he went to an insurance agent, and they got him insurance. Since he did not prove the age, they put him on a program like a discount payment insurance, basically actual cash value is what it came down to.
Yeah.
And he was
They
under
phrased it a whole funny way to make it seem like he's more than he is.
exactly, and he was told that he had to replace cost value, so he was saying, let's pull the trigger. Well, with that being done, you if you don't know truly the policy, then you can shoot yourself in the foot because it wasn't a replace cost value.
Now, how much did the roof depreciate?
$8,500.
Man, that's probably what
And the deduct
almost 50%, almost I would say, probably.
the insurance paid 44% of that roof.
So he's paying more for the roof than insurance paid.
Exactly true. And so basically, if you can stop the process of aging, if you can stop the granular loss, you can stop the UVs of attacking that roof. That is the most important thing here in the state of Oklahoma and any other state. You just have to know and have to be educated. And I'm hoping that this podcast can educate homeowners to just have their eyes open like a light bulb comes on. This is an option for you. It might be something that you don't want to do, but here in the state of Oklahoma, it's something that you have to do. Because someday you're going to have to pay. Yeah. And that's just all there is to it. Pay now or pay later, and paying later could be even worse. Another insurance company that a client worked for, he had $1,000 deductible. That's what he understood. We're talking about education, knowing exactly what you have for your insurance. And so a storm came through, and it just riddled his house. Just hail damage. Took me 5 seconds to realize this house is going to get bought. He's under the impression he's got replaced cost value, and he's going to go ahead and pull the trigger with $1,000 deductible. Well, with this insurance company, with wind and hail, his deductible went up to 2%, not 1%. So it changed the dynamic, and he wasn't ready for that. And so he was shocked, on how much it jumped up from where it was at. You know what I mean? An example, too, of somebody who was educated in his policy. He was a businessman. He understood the policy, and he understood what he needed to do. He realized that we have already done 5 houses in his community, and I have approached him and talked to him about his roof to do a roofing inspection. And he was like, he's not interested. And so I worked with him, talked to him. I would shoot him texts, shoot him emails, even give him a call and say, hey, are you interested for us to come out and do a roof inspection? He said no for a long period of time. Well, he got an email from his insurance company and said, we're going to transition your home from 0.5% to 1% on a deductible for wind and hail. And so he knew at the 5%, because of his cost of his home, is like a mansion. It was a beautiful home. Oh, yeah. His deductible was $6,000 at 5%. I mean, at 0.5%. And so it was going to $12,000. And he's like, okay, this is going to happen in a month and a half transition. Can you please now come over and look at my house? He was very interested now. Yeah. Because he understood what was going to happen. A lot of people don't pay attention. That's the thing. And so we inspected his roof, and then, like I said, we done 5 houses in his neighborhood, literally 100 feet from him, you know what I mean? and there was going to be hail damage. And so we get up there. It didn't take us, very long to let him know that, hey, we marked the roof and said, let's go ahead and file a claim, and he filed a claim. So he's able to, get his roof done for $6,000 instead of $12,000. Much better deal for him because he was educated. So this whole podcast is about educating homeowners. We're here to help you, homeowners.